Good morning.
Always puts a smile on the face.
I love that audio. It's good times.
How's it going, dude?
Not bad. I mean, sun's shining and we're starting to get green grass, so I'm totally okay with that.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Time to get the mower out.
Yeah. Nah, I got HOA. They do it for me.
Oh, one of these days, I'm gonna have an HOA that mows my grass.
I'll come over and mow it. You want to pay me?
Sure. Farm boy.
We're doing some farming. I can do some more farming. I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Farming. Speaking of which, Farm Craft is coming along. Aegir, what's up, dog? All right. So we got coding with Cleverlike today, which I'm really enjoying. I hope everyone else is too. And my latest thing is I'm going to use this time to get some work done. So I'm not going to let you get in my way. So we have a project that that needs some like a water fountain type deal, a water feature. So I thought we could make some particles for it. Cool. And then maybe one of these days you'll see the project, but at least now you'll see the makings of it. So, whoa, bam! This is oh yeah, Gatlin, you'll like this. So Farmcraft now has the two different all the different biomes. So they have two different direction crops, and now we have stacks for multiple biomes here. We have all the command blocks to get you to the different biomes, all color coded by our good friend Ace Unhacked. So we were working on the desert biome last night, and nice. so in the tropical one we've been playing. It's been like weeds and bugs, weeds and caterpillars. That's been the thing. It's just constant weeds and caterpillars, and we get a score around 1,200 or so. And so this one has it's desert biome, so it's not big on bug or weed problems, but it's big on water and soil quality problems. And so your crops dry fast, so they need to be watered constantly. The soil needs more constant fertilization, and so it's not frantic when it comes to the bugs and stuff like that. However, if you don't spray for bugs, then they won't die. They'll just continue to eat your crops. But if you spray a pesticide, or if you genetically engineer, what's up, Hunt? Anders, Ronald Davidonis. That's cool. Cool name. All right. Thanks for joining us. So I'm just talking about this. So the desert biome. Oh, the bugs. So the caterpillars, if they eat a crop, they'll die for eating the crop, and that's nice. But here, like investing in bug spray is not really smart because it's really expensive for your crops, and you don't have that much of a problem. So you have to like monitor that. Even though there's less of them, you have to monitor it pretty closely. But the soil dries so fast, and look at our score here. Your total score 125, whereas in the tropical one, our score was normally like 12, 14, 1600. So we're having a little problem figuring this one out, or maybe we're tuning the algorithm. Let's say. Anywho, I figure this is actually perfect. We're going to put our water features in here, right in the desert as a test. So what I want is, you ever see those like the water parks? They have like the fountains that just kind of like, they have a really good laminar flow. See, I watch Smarter every day, so I know what laminar flow
It's
is.
like, wait a minute, I think I've heard that before.
Yeah.
From shoot, Destin.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is his name?
Yeah. So laminar flow is when you get that water stream that's like perfectly together. It doesn't disperse and it lands one place to the next and stuff like that. So those kinds of parks. I don't know if I want to reproduce the whole laminar flow thing because that's kind of I don't know. It's a little boring for our purposes. I think we're gonna have like vertically shooting up, occasional like kind of like burst shooting up and then dissipating, falling down. And I'll plant those I'll plant those particles emitters or entities with particle emitters, kind of invisible entities, and then we'll have that just kind of around the water feature. Good.
All right, I'm interested to see how you're going to pull this one off.
Have I sold it to the executive board?
I mean, I'm cool. Yeah, I like the idea. I'm just thinking it's a lot easier to do in Unreal.
Well, if today was Wednesday, it would be my lucky day, but it's not. So that's I don't think anyone doesn't know, but if anyone doesn't know, Gatlin does a show. It's really like I keep coming up with new names for it, but it's really like interactive 3D with Gatlin Shadow on Wednesdays at 9 a.m. Mountain Time. And he gets to show you his true obsessions in life. Right?
All the weird things that I get to play with, all the fun things I get to play with.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I'm a little jealous.
Cool.
Yeah. So what am I going to do? We're going to go to Snowstorm. Okay. Lots of code here. Lots of code. So this is a resource pack dealio. Particles. We have our sprinkler particles. We're halfway there. We are. Control C, Control V. I'm going to paste that. I'm going to say F2. Fountain. Okay. There we go. I mean, we are already well on our way. Oh, I'll do this. Boom. It's fountain.particle.json. So listen, if you are kind of following along and you don't already have particles created, even though we have done particles before on the stream, so you should be able to find that with our cool little hammer dude. We did our angry mailbox, also commonly known as. We have done some of that. So I'm not going to talk about the full setup, but the setup is really easy. If you have a resource pack, you're going to want to go to the particles folder. Are you okay?
Yeah, my cat is incredibly hungry, apparently.
Go for the mic.
She was making all kinds of noises.
I want to see some Leslie Nielsen style movie footage where the cat comes flying across the room, lands on your head, and takes you off your chair.
This one doesn't jump. The other one jumps.
Okay.
Okay, I think she's happy now. All right.
And for those that don't know Leslie Nielsen style movies, look it up.
Airplane,
The Naked Gun.
That's the other one.
Yeah.
Good Lord, those are silly movies.
Yeah, I love that stuff. Okay, so in your resource pack, you have a particles folder, and that's where you're going to put your particles file. Now, particles are super easy thanks to our good friend Giannis, who invented Blockbench and
Police Squad.
Police Squad.
I didn't see that one.
Who's that? Gumby? Yeah. I like the intro. They have like a police siren light, the old fashioned one on top of the roof, and that's like in the bottom center of the screen, so you look like a car, and so it's driving down the road, and then it just starts like veering off, and it's like going through like somebody's apartment and all this other stuff. So it looks like the police car is just driving through all the craziest scenes. Funny stuff. We're back to that problem again. I wonder if
Okay, TV series, got it. Okay, this looks like it was prior to my time. Let's give how far up. Original release 1982. Okay, good time.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Mm-hmm. Which, I mean, we're not judging here, but you know,
know your history. Or you're doomed to repeat it and make another Leslie Nielsen movie. Is that doomed? I don't think it's doomed.
At the end of the age, yeah. Leslie Nielsen was actually like a serious actor at some point in his younger days, which I couldn't comprehend. I guess that's like Jim Carrey playing a serious role. Okay, so let me try to format the document. Format document with. Format document. Well, I still haven't figured this out. I still have not figured it out. That's sad. So my problem is that it's funny because I can go to this water particle and it works. So what we'll do, since I made a copy of it, yeah, it does have particle.json. Oh, good. Yeah, Dan's here. So I took the file, I copied it, pasted it, and then that new pasted version has fountain.particle.json. And when I go to it, it doesn't come up in the Snowstorm plugin. And we did get it to work at one point eventually, but what is the deal? Somebody help me. Dan's on it. He's probably like trying to eat dinner or something fun. And I'm like, I need help.
I'm gonna call this one in.
Yeah. Definitely using my phone a friend. Ask the audience. Come on, people, don't leave me hanging. Anyway, so that's okay. There's always more than one way to get things done. So we're going to go to actually let's go with the net. So we do have the website snowstorm.blockbench.net, which interesting, snowstorm.app. That's cool. Which has the ability for you to create your custom particles, and then you can do file and then download your particle file and put that right into your import and export from the website again. Oh, okay. So he sticks his tongue out with the answer. So that's a cocky answer. That's brave. But I mean, if anybody can, it's him. So let's see here. Let me find this sucker here. Boom, boom. Particles. And now I've got my fountain particle. Clear your workspace. Okay. And there it is. It doesn't have the particle loaded. So what I am going to do is download it. Show in Finder. And we have copy. And we're going to paste that in. I guess I should close it in Visual Studio. NPC talk particle. Go to soil test. In the meantime, you guys can. Yeah, that's boring code. I was gonna say you could look at that code, but just more puzzles. Okay, so I'm going to paste it here. water spray particle. Ooh, I wonder if the name of the particle and the name of the file need to be the same. Let's have a look-see. Shrink that up. So I have water spray particle. So if I were to, of course, I'm going to run into that same problem. All right, forget it. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Don't be like that. We're going to say fountain, and then save. Right, I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to water spray particle. This is how it goes, right? You have to, if you're going to show anyone how to do something, sometimes you got to learn it yourself first. And I like to do that before the stream, but it doesn't always happen that way.
I know you make your comments like, you always seem so organized. I was like, yeah, because I spent a couple hours the night prior doing it. If I haven't done it 100 times already.
Yeah. Yeah, I just don't. That's why I'm doing the live stream format, because I don't have that kind of time. I'm doing a US day and an Australian day. So I work from, 9 to 5 and 7 to 3 every day for the past couple of weeks.
You've been burning the midnight oil indeed.
Yeah, but I'm so motivated, man. We got so much good stuff going on.
True.
All right. Yeah. So here's the deal. So it worked. I'm not sure what the answer was, other than if you loaded in Snowstorm and export it and then open it up in Visual Studio Code, that works. So Dan will give you the win. I'm glad I used my my phone a friend on that one. So let's see here. This is not moving in the right direction. So it's kind of just spraying down, which is the emitting from the locator of the sprinklers. But we have a really nice thing going here. So I think what I'm going to do is, I think I'm sticking with the size of the particles. And let's change the direction to, we're going to do like math.random. And then we'll do like between 0 and 5. Oh, you could see that spray is starting to spread out a little. And then if I do the Z, same deal. In the Z. Oh, okay. Now we're getting something. And now we got to fire it up. Straight up. Let's say 10. Ooh. Okay. That's obnoxious. So what I need is, I need something that emits like a bunch of particles pretty quickly, because we want that, and then it goes away. So the water is shut off before it really kind of starts to come back down. That's what I'm thinking. Are we cool with that? Of course we are.
Wait, do I get a choice?
No, sir. So we have active time. So let's say like 0.2, and sleep time like 0. Or let's just say 1.5. Okay. Getting better. All right. So the problem I have now is like the rate is a problem, but I don't know. Let's see if I do. There we go. And that variation is a little much, so I'm going to make it like to 0.1. 0. Yeah, it almost has to go like, let's do like like 5 and then like 5 seconds. Ooh. Okay. That's looking kind of cool. The problem I'm having is how they're all, you see that their particles aren't living long enough. So we could change it. I think there's a setting that it kills when it kills on blocks. So collision, bounciness, expire on contact. So that's already on. So then we want to go to the lifetime of the particle. So when you're in this snowstorm, you could see that the emitter has a category. So the emitter is like the object that is the source of the particle. So this is like your spray can, right? And you're controlling like which way it's spraying, how is it on stream or spray, and the direction and things like that. And can you use it once or can you use it over and over again if it's a one time or a looping? So the emitter is like the spray can, and the particle is the spray that comes out of the spray can, right? So the particles are not living long enough because they're dying like in the air. Or so there's two things we can do. We can kind of lower the opacity so they kind of disappear and turn into mist, or we can let them fall all the way to the ground. So I want to first start by making them fall all the way to the ground. Lifetime, maximum age. Let's just say maximum age is 10 seconds. It's almost like the gravity is, just not enough. Like the water doesn't come down that slow. Where's my gravity?
This is always fun. You're like, oh, I need to change the gravity. And then all of a sudden you need to change everything else.
Exactly. Like, well, it's not going to fly as high. So you're going to blast it up there. Let's see. There we go. Acceleration is minus. Okay. Oh, what if we just cut that out and made that? Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. That's a minus acceleration. Okay. We're going to have to zoom out here and paste this back in. So let's do -3 to actually 12. and it's expire on contact, so it's not expiring. So we're going to make it go to, -40. Yeah. All right. We're about to up this to 50. Hey, did you see the little side spray? It reminded me of what the... that's not enough. 200. Gravity is really messing with us here, or our alleged reverse acceleration. Let's say 20. Okay. That's nice. What are we thinking? It seems like the some of the early ones come straight down. Oh, that's because our math.random, our range is -3. So if I do like minus 30 to -40, then we'll have more height on all of the Oh, right. Let's say minus 10 to minus 20. Why couldn't we just go with mist?
And there's a game I'd go back and play again. I don't remember any of the puzzles.
Parabolic arc of water. Yeah.
With the Y, yeah, Gumby's got it.
Yeah. Mist. I remember Mist. I remember the hype around Mist and how pretty it was for its time. I honestly probably needed someone to play the game with so I can have help figuring out half of it because it kind of got, there was no documentation, no help in the game. So I got up to like the tree monkeys and stuff like that, and whatever, if I can even remember it properly. But there's a lot of cool aspects to that game that were lost on a youngster like myself at the time.
Sierra's Lighthouse. I don't know, didn't play those ones. My wife was huge into Escape from Monkey Island, I think was the name of it. She still plays those games. There's like 4 or 5 of them. Super silly.
So I guess one of the things we can do is, I wonder if we could pick a variable. These are start variables. Like equals math dot 1, 2, 6. I'm just curious if I can create a variable and then set the direction to that variable and see if they all kind of head in that direction together. So it would create an arc type flow. What did I say? Water arc. I haven't really used variables much in particle effects.
It'd be helpful. No lie.
Oh, direction, and then we have motion. Oh, speed, huh? Okay, that's getting interesting. Speed.
Slow down. Slow down.
Yeah, it kind of catches up. Gravity catches up to it and says, "Oh no, you don't." So let's just say 12 on this one, and then 12 on that one. That looks like it's still going straight up and down. So do we need acceleration in a different, let's say 50, 50? Whoa! Okay. Math it. What's wrong with that? Nothing at all.
That's entertaining.
There's nothing to see here. So I like how that that seems to create a better arc effect than changing the direction. So this might allow us to send it straight up and have it go, let's see, like -3 to +3, right? And then I'm going to, okay, Control A, Control C, paste it in there. Let's see what that looks like. That's nicer. All right, and I'm gonna exaggerate this a little bit by increasing the range here of the spread. So I'm taking it's definitely too much, but that's kind of the purpose, is to see. Oh boy. Now it looks like a swarm of bees. Let's make it 10. See if we can have it kind of fall randomly in a somewhat consistent direction. Okay. Kind of like that. And so we can do for the sleep time, we can do math.random and then do like 5 to 15 seconds. And so now, like, if we have multiple particle effects and each of them has their own separate emitter, they're going to have different delays. So if I place a bunch of these, they'll happen at random times, kind of like they do in these water fountains. Now, this is not the Bellagio fountains. We're not going to be synchronizing this to any songs yet. Just yet.
In time.
One of these days. So I'm curious about Mist. I need to know like how much of Mist I missed. So for you guys that know Mist, I want to hear like, so I could remember you spawn like like in the woods or something like that, and then you can go into some, I don't know if it was a cave or some place, and that's where you had there was some broken up video where they were trying to tell you something. You could tell you weren't getting all of the story. And then I could remember like going up into the trees at one point, and I don't know if I was able to find much else of significance. So based on that lame description and terrible recollection of reality, what would you say was the percentage of the game that I got through, if you know the game and have gone through it all? Like, I've gone through Portal 2, and if somebody was like, oh, it's dumb, like you got to place squares and whatever, and all I did was this first level, and then I would be like, no, you missed it all. But I don't know. I think what was great about Myst in its time was how graphical, like the just the presentation of it, the graphics and sound and video inside the game, stuff like that was. You've managed to get off the island of at least one of the other worlds. Oh wow! So there's multiple worlds. I think I kept getting killed by these tree people.
The Ents. I gotcha.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Yeah. So all right. Well, that's sad. It's sad. This is why collaboration and online. We didn't have the internet. I didn't have friends. I mean, let's be honest. So, having the staying power to go through puzzle games that you play constantly and get nowhere different is tough. So, all right, I'm going to change the directions back to 0 here and see what the change of acceleration does to that. I'm kind of liking it. I don't know. What do you think, Atlin? Like, should I space it out more? Like,
I feel like they fall a little slow, but I'm also like, it's also a game. So how realistic do we really want it?
Mm-hmm. Don't make me screw with that acceleration anymore. I can't believe you would even tempt that. What's wrong with you? the rotation of them falling is pretty slow and simple. I kind of like how slow it is.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, the air drag. Control X. That seems a little faster. So the drag was, well, I had particle age as the drag. So basically, as the particle got older, it had more and more air drag. I could make them like, what if we were to make the opacity? How much time do you think this is taking? Let's say
Oh, quarter second,
3,
maybe.
1, 2, 3.
Oh, for
4.
like, okay. I don't want
So the lifetime is maybe 4 seconds, like for the total. So somewhere between 3 and 4 seconds. What if we were to go to like the color and light? Where is it? I'm looking for the UV. Looking for the UV.
Which in the you're hovering over it because that's where you kind of.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. I'm looking for alpha.
Oh, the alpha. So
appearance.
You have to set one of the settings first. Let me bring it up on my end. I guess I can dig for it.
That's what I like to hear. Finally got him to dig into it. I was wondering what it was going to take. Get him sucked into the vortex.
It's going to be a thing.
It does say, well, the material is alpha because it's a see-through material. And then direction, shape, emitter, just a point shape. My dumb experiment I need to obviously learn more about. Motion, rotation, lifetime. Wow. There are 4 parameters that are usual with 4 elements of a plane equation. Nice. Kill in blocks, only in blocks. Texture. UV mode, animated or static. And this right here is the color. I swear I've done that before.
Yeah.
Time to go to our friends at this commercial sponsored by Bedrock.dev.
Right. I feel like you can't see it alpha out in Snowstorm, and you can only see it alpha out actually in game. Because I was playing with this.
Alpha.
That's my thinking noise.
That is the thinking noise. Be careful. You're going to have wild animals at your door if you keep doing that.
The cats are going to come back down and ask for more food.
I'm thinking I guess is the appearance particle lifetime appearance billboard size.
So I don't think you can animate the alpha. I think the way I was getting around this was using size, and I was using a really fuzzy texture because I couldn't figure out how to get it to do its thing. Yeah, because this one's the one I got going here is just all it's set to alpha. The material's set to alpha, but it doesn't.
Okay, everyone, first one to get the answer.
Wins it.
Or maybe not the answer, but first one to Figure out how to control the alpha of the particle texture. As soon as we start having some online prizes, that'd be fun. Be like, okay, first one with the answer gets a 100 mine coin, 500 mine coins.
Gets a Bitcoin.
Yeah, we're not there yet. Not there yet. The stream doesn't have that level of excitement. I don't know if I could be that host.
Maybe if we give one away, people will start paying attention.
Like, man, this guy is pretty dumb and he's giving away stuff for answers. So this is perfect. I'm going to tune in.
Checks in the mail.
We do have color. 1, 2. Yeah. Well, let me search transparency. No, sir. I didn't like that. Okay. So in that case, see, but the size, what I do have is like I have the age of the particle. Okay. If the age of the particle plus 0.1 is greater than 0.2, then 0.2 else particle age. So let's say like particle age plus 5 and see what happens. What value am I even on? Appearance, right? Yeah. Appearance of the X. So the X size, you can see how it spams really wide at the very beginning, and then if it's greater than 0.2, then it does the particle age. So this is kind of starting it and then holding it. So it's starting it at to grow with the particle age, but stopping the growth at 0.2. Basically, is kind of what this ternary function is doing. This conditional statement, basically, it's comparing the ternary operator is basically like, this is your check that is going to generate a true or a false. So if this is true, then it'll run the first part after the question mark, and then after the colon is the else. And no, it's markup release day, so I have a day off. Looks interesting. What are you guys doing? Oh, dude. It's marketplace map release day for you? Tell me more, Anino. What do you have a map in the that's coming out on a Friday? Friday is like update day. Tuesdays are like the new release days. Is today? What is today? It's Friday. Okay. Tell us more, dude. We want to hear. We want to celebrate with you. You just checking out what everyone else is doing. All right. So this is 0.2 to 0.5. Sheesh. And that's the X. It's really kind of dumb to keep waiting 15 seconds here. Sleep time. Somewhere between 5 and 5 seconds. Well, let me copy that. I'm doing a Control A. I click in it. I click in it. I do Control A and then Control C. And I'll click here, Control A and then Control V. And whenever you paste, whatever you have selected. Yeah, see, this particle is definitely not cool for that situation. This can't get that big. Okay. Giggleblock is releasing a big map today. NNO, tell us tell us what you obviously participated on it. Tell us, what are you most proud of? Want to hear struggles you went through to make it great? All right. 0.5, 0.2. Backish for now. Oh, yeah. Where were you when I was looking for transparency control, alpha channel control on particles, particle textures? Where were you?
I'm not seeing it affecting anything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
It's lame.
You know, there is a lot of like formula stuff here. Like, okay, maybe this is it. Expression.
So you
Color.
Can put
go.
in variable. Well, hold on a second. Let's see if I actually have a variable in on this one. No, so it's just a built-in. Okay, so you can do variable dot particle underscore age divided by variable dot particle underscore lifetime, and set your color mode to gradient. Oh yeah, so then you've got an interpolate little spot right underneath where it says gradient. So here, let me do this.
That's cute.
That's
cute. Interpolant.
Interpolant.
What is it? Particle.
So I dropped it in Discord for you. Just copy it.
Okay. The age divided. Okay, so as a percentage of lifetime. Okay, that's cool. Is that the interpolant?
That's the interpolant. And then I've got your range. You set to 1, and then you can hit the little plus symbol that's right above the color picker.
There
you go. You should be able to change the color over time. Those two little boxes at the bottom of your gradient, you could slide them around and change their color. However, and you can change the alpha value in it, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything on screen from what I can see.
Yeah, and Hunt says change it to blend, and it's going to introduce the alpha channel.
Yeah.
Do you think it introduces it back in static?
Oh, it is doing it. Now it's doing it. Ha 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 ha. Good call on that one. So yeah, the blend will actually put that alpha in there. Oh, that's amazing.
Amazing. So yeah, let's see here.
So the last one.
Oh yeah.
Just set your alpha all the way down.
Got you.
And I have noticed that the range, I usually shorten it to like 0.9 or 0.92, something in there. And then that last one, I usually, pull to the left a little bit.
So if I select this guy, I can change the alpha there.
You might need.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Kind of doing it?
Yeah. Sure is. But the handle, okay, there's the handle.
Yeah, the handle also goes clear.
Yeah, that's not cool. It's like, hey, that's your color. I got it. We'll put the color on the handle so they'll know what color it is. Okay, that's fully transparent. But there is a little outline there, so. Nice.
Sweet, with our powers combined.
That's pretty cool. Thanks, team.
Nailed it.
So you're the main developer. Haven't worked on a big map in a while because we release the most content in usually parkour, so it's nice to get to work on a long-term project for once. So cool. So you guys normally cranking out more kind of build-based maps, but you've got some mechanics that you built in the map. Is it out? It's not out the door yet, is it? Isn't it like in another hour or two? You have permission to spoil it, or is it already out? Yeah, of course. Maurizio likes the alpha.
I know.
He doesn't even need the alpha. This guy is he's such a master with colors and shading that he don't need no alpha.
Don't need no stinking alpha.
He creates glow. He make you think you're seeing alpha.
True that.
All right. And no, good luck with the map, dude. I will definitely be checking it out. So
nice.
I'm liking this particle effect.
Yeah, it's looking pretty.
I'm feeling good, and we're probably like at the end of the show because it took forever, but it's been a fun time. So I'm gonna save this. Boom, save. Now, like if I go into the world, save and exit, I'm curious if I just play.
Need the Omega nerd. Play with the new stuff in Maya, Mauricio?
Oh. Yeah.
I've been playing with some of the modeling tools. They're pretty cool. I'm excited. Somebody was showing a way to do hair with the new tubes.
Oh. Yeah, like in it follicle level or single strand. What is it? Strand?
Doing
strand-based hair where you can
more hair cards, or you could do dreads real easy too. Not nearly as powerful as actual programs that do hair, but it was like, oh, that's kind of nice. I can block stuff in.
expected. Let's see what we got here. Particles. What? Oh,
making games with a button. I had I heard stories before I got to the school where I'm teaching. In Maya, you can record everything that you do because it records everything in the history. That's how it kind of keeps track of its undos. And he'd gone through and like modeled a car. He's like, oh, look, there's a car button. And he like made a button that had all of the commands in it. And it just like, I was like, this is amazing. Where's that button? It's not in mine.
The car button. Oh, that's a good one. Picking on the noobs,
That windshield wiper fluid. Or no,
yeah, blinker fluid.
Blinker fluid. That's what it was.
Yeah, blinker fluid. Too funny. All right, so we have our particles. I am going to take a look at my entities here. If I were to just take my marker.
Have a good one, Hunt. Thanks for stopping by, my friend.
All right, Dan. See you later, bud. He's like, that's it. You're on your own. No!
Showed you how to do the thing.
Yeah. All right. So let's see here. Should we attach it to a custom entity? What if I were to attach it to?
Would we do it any other way? Come on now.
That's true. That's true. True. He speaks true facts. This man does. Okay. So in that case, I got to go over here to the entities. I'm going to use like marker. And I think that's going to be okay. I'm going to just copy and paste that. And I'm going to call it fountain. Okay. And so we'll call it colon, whoa, caps lock, fountain. Save. And yeah, it's an NPC marker family type. Let's turn NPC off. Just for safety, because NPCs are tricky little buggers. Tricky little buggers. Now this entity here is marker, Control-C, and then we're going to call it fountain. Remember, the file names don't matter. It's the contents of the file. And then here I'm going to format document. Super simple. Oh, that's cool. Look at that base color. It shows you the actual colors. Nice. This is in the prettier, the JSON prettier. That's cool. Such cool alpha blend materials, entity alpha test. I guess it's fine because the entity is what we're talking about here. So that is, come on. Ah, Cleverlike. Fountain. The resource pack. Dang, that's got like nothing. So if I go to my NPC and got my render controller, geometry, materials, textures, farmer. Farmer has particle effects right here. Boom, boom. Control C. And then we go to our fountain entity. Render controllers. Boom. Adding particle effects. Getting rid of the comma at the end here. And then we have water. Water stream. Like fountain. So we're attaching the particle effect name to a short name inside the entity. What's our error here? Property particle effects is not allowed. Oh, it's probably because it's version 1.8. And we'll change to 1.10. That helps. Oops, maybe I have it. To there we go. Happier. Okay, so we have our animate. So our scripts here, we're going to fold that up, copy that. And then that's going to go at the end of this guy here. Pre-animation would be where you would calculate any kind of variables that you want to use in game. I'm going to take that out. And then we have animate and then stream. Boom. Right. So we have now our I'm even curious on just what if we need the animations or if attaching it is good enough. Let's have a little look-see here. We're going to go back in. And we are going to summon fountain. Okay, that exists. See the dot right there is kind of the fountain itself. And yeah, remember, did you ever do this as a kid? Looking down at the fountain? Not a good idea, right? Right in the face. Okay, so
I think they're called natural consequences.
That's right. Hopefully learning moment as well, but not everybody. Okay. So the farmer animations move and arrow. Animation controllers. Particle. There's our controller animation arrow. Okay, so let's change this. Animation. Mountain. Visual state is going to be show. And really, I don't think we're going to hide it. We could like turn it off at night or something like that and make the fountains go off at nighttime. But let's effect stream. So the stream effect and transition on nothing. Not an empty object.
Hey, Psycho. So we're working on building some particles water for Minecraft.
Building a water feature fountain particle effect.
Make it pretty.
And it's going to work one of these days. No, we're just getting to the point where we're attaching it to a custom entity so we can kind of spawn these wherever and have them kind of shoot up. The other thing we could consider when we tweak the entity is that we could maybe set it so that it could breathe solids, so that we could bury it inside of a block, so that you don't see its shadow, the entity shadow. But what I'm doing here is I have the controller animation fountain. We have to remember that. And I am basically, I have the default state as show, and the show state runs the particle effect stream. So that's saved. And we go into the fountain entity. I have stream. Okay, that's a problem. Water stream. Oh, no. Doot. Let's go to farmer real quick. That's behaviors. We don't want the behaviors. We want the entity. This one here. Okay, so the animation controller animations guy is what we want. So in the fountain entity, we've got particle effects. We go here, boom, animations. We have to get all these names right, you know, like, so I'm going to take this away. Controller arrow. What did we call it? Fountain. Right. So that's called stream. So the animation stream connects to this guy, to animation. Whoa, not that one. No, sir. Controller.animation.fountain. And we don't have to worry about show because that's kind of happening in there. And then what are you? Controller animation.fountain. A reference to an animation controller. Cannot find. Controller.animation.fountain. Animation.fountain. I don't know. That seems there. Let's see, just a quick test here. We do have the water particles in this map, so we didn't have to load the texture in there, so that's good. And now So water stream is our particle effects. Stream is the handle. Effect stream. So we have the effect here being played. And okay, well, particle effects is water stream. Particle effect is defined as water stream. So when we play it in the animation controller, we need to refer to water stream as the name. And then we have the animation of stream, which needs to be what gets run here. Okay. Better names. Story of my life. And I'll blame my parents because that's what every normal person does. No. I was feeling good about this. Let's see, the other thing is here, that's positive Z. So if I do particle, and the effect is like colon fountain. So our particle is not showing up. What if I were to do that with is water particle? Water. Water particle effects. Water spray. Water spray. Let's just see what that does. Water spray. Oh, not happy. Not happy. So I have the particle effects defined. Water as Cleverlike water spray, and then like the actual, if I go to particles, water spray is water is Cleverlike water spray. Okay, so we have that. I'm going back to water. Animations, we have the controller. We do have an animation water spray that we might have to fire up. Which would what? Just have the handle on it. Is this Minecraft coding or just for fun? Yeah, it's Minecraft. We're creating a water feature fountain that we want to put into our maps so that we can have like an entity that we could just drop in there, and then we'll have random water spraying in our map. So we have this cool particle effect right here. And we want to place that onto an entity and kind of put them around the map, so it adds some fun to our big fountain area. This is running it locally on Minecraft Bedrock. So we are doing this for Education Edition, actually, which is currently like a Bedrock 1.14 equivalent. What do we have here? A reference to an animation or animation controller. Cannot find animation controller. Why? Why, Santa Claus? Why are you taking our tree? Controller.animation fountain. And here we have our states. and it's playing the idle animation. If you're going to start coding, I would recommend, my personal opinion on coding, like, I guess two things. JavaScript in the context of like node.js would be a good one. There's lots of free online trainings you can do, and Python is also a good one as well. So I personally wouldn't, if you're starting to learn coding, I would not start with Java. The cool thing about, so case in point here, the cool thing about JavaScript is that Blockbench is made, and Snowstorm is made in JavaScript. And it runs in a web browser. It runs as a standalone application. It runs as a plugin inside of Visual Studio Code. Like, it's really adaptable, really portable, runs well on all platforms. So that's what I think is a really cool thing about JavaScript and the frameworks around JavaScript that you can start to implement once you know it. And then the other thing is Python is like the exact opposite as far as like publishing it and getting it packaged up and distributed, but it's a super powerful language, and you could do a lot of really cool stuff with it. So I liked Python when I was doing like microcontroller, like Raspberry Pi type programming, because it's really super capable. And I actually created, before Blockbench had texture support, I created a texture generator in Python that shipped kind of like in partnership with the early Blockbench. And then, eventually he built the control in like as it should be. But yeah, I used Python for that. It was kind of fun, but just, yeah, I would go with JavaScript. You're empowered to do web stuff really easily, standalone stuff easily, in web app things. You can do stuff for the phone as well. There are frameworks for things like that. But if you really want to get into like mobile development, then you've got to think about expanding to the more native applications if you want to get into something really specific. But I would look at JavaScript and JavaScript frameworks that work with mobile. That'd be my recommendation if you want to get into coding. Don't start with like C++ or Java. Don't start with it.
Something you could look into as well is next month, Adobe's got their giant Adobe Max, I think is what they're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of it's going to be totally free, which is really cool. And I guarantee somebody will be in there using their applications for making other apps, really. So I don't know much about it. I just know that it's coming up. I've heard about it through some of my buddies because they do a lot of that stuff. They're like, "Oh, it's going to be so amazing," and I'm like, "I live in 3D most of the time. I'm not usually in the Adobe stuff." So.
Nice. Yeah, and I guess it's going to be all online, huh?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Particles is exactly what you need. Oh, dang, so do we. Lo-fi monk. Yeah, we are. I'm wondering, Gatlin, if this. Let's see. Well, it's the same attribute. It's the same. It's actually the same particle that we started with, the fountain, right? So I wonder if I. Let's look at animations, Seedtron vehicle, water animation. So we do have sound effects. We got the sound effect going. And that's kind of like a locator at the 0 position. You notice there is nothing to do here with the particle effect. I'm sad. I am sad. Okay. Another thing, however. Oh, I wonder if that's the case. Let's go into this particle effect. We're in it. Okay. emitter lifetime, math.random, shape, appearance, particle age, direction. I want to make sure there's no code that displays it conditionally based on tags or anything like that. So I should open the code. Math.random, particle age. It's looping, so active time and then it's sleep time. We didn't change that. 15. Initial rotation. Okay. So it doesn't look like we have anything kind of conditional. Texture, particle, water, Cleverlike fountain. Mm-hmm. So let's see here. NPC talk. I think if we turned it off looping, that would probably make it more summonable through command. This looping particle effects that aren't attached to a thing that can die are kind of rogue particles. There's our water spray particle, which is the fountain. Ooh. Oh. We have two of the same particles. Oops. Almost messed that up. Right? This says Cleverlike fountain. Could it have been that simple? I doubt it. I doubt it's that simple. But I do, that's the one thing I like about coding is that when your brain is tired, you just kind of tell the computer to show you. And then you're like, yeah, you're right. Still not working. I do have to use my brain. Darn it. Hey.
Poof.
That was it. We had two copies. So now this should be between 5 and 15. Yay. Yay.
The excitement is real.
Yay. And if
There
I
is much rejoicing.
So we're going to, in our desert biome, we're going to go boom, 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 boom sound effects. Boom, boom. All right, let's watch the show, everybody. Hey, not too shabby. What do you think?
That's Bellagio equipment right there.
Totally. Get that Enrico Palazzo music. You like how I pulled in the Naked Gun? The Naked Gun reference there. Look at that, though. So now let's test this out. Casino time. All right, let's go. I'm going to try this. I'm going to pick up some sand here. I'm going to place it. Ooh. Oh. Ah, dang. You know what's happening?
It's doing what it's told.
It is. How do we affect that? I guess we could set the offset. It's actually emitter location could be a little higher. So we have it set to kill in blocks, and so it's in blocks. But if we had it, we'd be able to hide it. Survived. That's good. That's the one thing I wanted to check is see if that entity. I think the entity survives.
So if So what if you knock the blocks out around it? Would it work that way?
No, because the particles die when they hit a block, and the particles are so big inside of a 1 block space that
Gotcha. Okay.
yeah, that's my hypothesis. We can test it out by kind of clearing out around it.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Clear it around it. Even just the one above it actually seemed to move it. So okay, yeah.
No, like it seemed like it was just big enough that it was
Okay.
hitting into the blocks. Let's see. Oh, that worked. I wonder if it's also like the rotation, if there's one way it's kind of hanging out.
Yeah, some of them are making it out of there.
Yeah, because the rotation varies. So I'm sorry to say. Well, no, I'm not going to kill you. I'm not going to kill you. I'm like the Dread Pirate Roberts, I'll surely kill you tomorrow.
Good night,
Wesley.
I'll surely kill you in the morning.
Okay. So we are going to go back into our particle, which took way too long to get working because we had 2 of the same named thing because of the earlier debacle. Okay. So the emitter shape has an offset of 1. So maybe like let's do 1.01 just in case. Save that. It's saved to the correct file. I think so. So question, does the sprinkler when active serve the same function as a water block? It does. It does. Like the farming water. Oh, whoa. That was cool. Oh, you know what? That's the thing about particle effects is if they occur when you're not looking at the emitter, then they don't refresh. Yeah. So what happened was they all went when I was looking away. So when I looked over at them, they were then finishing their animation. So, right. So we go like this. Make sure this still works.
You got distracted. You were about to answer a question there.
Yeah. So the watering effect that we created is, hey, look at that. Nice. The water is just programmatic. So when you buy water, it animates the sprinklers and increases the water value. Oh, I love this. I'm loving it. I'm not a fan of the darkness here with the particle. I think we're fading to black in the particle on this texture. So let's kind of fix that. Like back to invisibility cloaks. Red. Oh, it's all the way down here.
Yeah, you want to set that one to white probably.
Yeah. Yeah, and that one is white.
That's painted black. Heard that. Something about a door.
Mm-hmm. I was just my daughter was like telling me, showing me this cool sound on this cool song on TikTok, and I'm like, oh my god, that sounds like Smashing Pumpkins or something like that. And so I had her bring up that song, and she was just like blown away. She's like, oh my god, I just constantly amazed at the. Oh, that's much better. Yeah, how. Sometimes my kids get mad at their generation for copying so much older. When they find out stuff that they love and think is original is actually a copy of something older, they get pissed and they're like, I can't believe it. I can't believe. Feel so betrayed.
What was once old will be new again.
I love this. So this is going in. This is going in. Yeah, I am talking about the new version of 1979.
Oh, really? I didn't realize that was the one that got covered. Okay, I'll have to go back and listen to it then.
Yeah. And Vanilla Ice really threw me for a whirl with the
Ice Baby.
pressure. Yeah, like with the.
Wait a minute.
Oh gosh. So our offset now is happening like they're shooting up out of the sky, but the ground offset is actually decent. Oh, dudes, we did it. We did it.
Nailed it.
I'm excited. Thank you guys for joining. This was fun. Like the chat we had going on here. Did we miss anything? I think we were covering as we went. So N&O's got a map releasing with Gigablock Studios today on the Minecraft Marketplace. So you guys should definitely check that out. It's a Friday release, which is really interesting. Makes me wonder, like, if it's a big special release or what. Normally releases are on Tuesday, so I'm curious.
So it looks like there was one question. So Lo-Fi back at timestamp 1022. Having a looping particle tried to get using an animation block bench, but it won't work out. I think it got to do with a command, but he didn't know.
Okay, let's have a look. See, I have a looping particle that I tried to add using animation in Blockbench. Okay, well, let's just try this here. I am going to just particle command like fountain, and then that here. So the particle exists, the looping particle, and if it's static, like if you want it to just live in the world indefinitely, I think it'll go again. Did you die? So maybe it did. Maybe it despawned itself, which is nice because you really want one and done particles in the particle command, because having them looping is would be kind of weird. So attaching it to the entity. So I'm for sure try to use the animation in Blockbench. So we did not use animation. Okay, what we did was so pay attention here, people. So here's the deal. We had our particle. So we're going to recap what we figured out here. So we created a particle. It's called Cleverlike. The identifier is Cleverlike : fountain. Okay. It is this one is a steady one that loops, and it has an active time and an inactive time. So it's going to be intermittent as we spawn different ones, or as we spawn different emitters, right? And so to bring this to life, what I did end up doing was I created a really basic entity. So like in behavior packs, I have the fountain entity, which is fairly simple. It has a damage sensor, basically preventing any damage from happening. Physics persistent. Oh, a ground offset of 2. That we might have been able to mess with. A really small collision box. And this is like a no loot table family. That's basically it. It's like a non-interactable, invisible entity. So we're not going to have to create a model for it. So that's the behavior side. That's all we have to do on the behavior pack. And then on the resource pack, we always start in the entity folder. That's your core. That's your table of contents. That's going to point to every asset that goes into the visual display of your entity. So behavior packs are also called like server side, which are happening like the non-visible programming types of things. And resource pack is client side. And these are the things that are going to control how they're rendered and displayed on your screen. So the textures and animations and stuff like that. So we start with the entity file, Cleverlike fountain. I would make that the same as what you did for your behavior pack. And then we have the geometry is just a blank geometry file. Like the I don't even know if we need a geometry, but the model for the marker is this. Ooh, nothing. Format document. That's it. Empty. Okay. So that's the model that it's using. We're back to fountain. Okay. Materials entity alpha test. There's this is the material for the entity, so we don't have to worry because it's invisible. We should be fine. Actually, it's an alpha thing. I would even consider taking that out and just have entity. That'd probably be smarter, just to so the program doesn't try to render any transparency, even if there's any weight that comes with that. And then we set the spawn egg colors if you want to have a spawn egg, and then the render controller. Let's take a quick look at that so you can see what's in that one. Render controller marker. It's going to be super simple. Materials asterisk material default, geometry default. Okay. It's all here. You can pause it and type it in if you need to. And then we have back to right. And then we have our particle effect, which is Cleverlike fountain, which we created, but we're going to give it a short name that we're going to reference in our entity here. So then we have an animation controller. I'm even wondering like how much of this stuff is necessary. But let's say we have animations, which is actually an animation controller. So we'll go into that one here. And it's basically saying, so this identifier here is kind of like the name of the controller, and then it has states. So the initial state is the one you want to run first. So if there were multiple, this would be the one that is run first, and that's usually like your idle animation that's starts to move or change based on different actions. But we have the show state, and then we define the show state is particle effects effect water stream, and we're using that short name that we put in the other file, water stream, as the effect. We're not transitioning out of it. You could transition to, let's say, like if you have another state where there is no particle effect, like I was thinking like at nighttime, if we wanted to turn the fountains off, we could say, we could query like the time of day. And if it's within a certain range, then we could switch to a different animation that doesn't have the particle effect. So it would essentially shut it off. So there are some controls that we can add in there, but we already had enough trouble today as it was. Okay, so that's your animation controller. Back to here, and then you just basically attach the animation controller to the entity and say, run this animation controller. So that's what the scripts is doing. The scripts is saying, start animating by running the stream animation. And that's the short name that we gave to it right here for the animation controller. And that's the glue that holds all the pieces together. And now we have that spawn egg. We can place it wherever, and it will run as long as that entity exists, we have fountains. So that's the cool thing about it. So these are all entities. So if I killed them, they're gone, and no more fountains. So have it as a user-controlled thing. You could programmatically control the effect and anchor it to where you want it to be based on where you put the entity. Yeah. So subbed and loved. Cool. Yeah. So stay tuned. We have a whole series, Coding with Cleverlike, that takes from beginning all the way up, doing everything the hacky, quick way so you can get a taste for it, and then starting to do things the right way. And then we just do these weekly things where we just kind of, I do something that I need to get done for work. So Gatlin's the only one that's not getting anything done.
That's not entirely true.
All right, cool. So that was fun. Yeah, thanks chat for and it was a fun session today. Thank you guys for joining us today. Stay tuned for next week. And Farmcraft, this Farmcraft gets launched on Wednesday to the world. There's over it's close to like 2,000 students from around the world, over 20 different countries, all planning to play and compete in Farmcraft. So I might start to reveal a little bit more about that and the programming behind it. So if you get into that game, play it, you can. How cool, from India! Awesome, welcome. But you get into the game and have questions, we can help you out. So thanks, dudes. Have a good night, Gatlin. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you.
Of course.
Talk to you later.